Losing belly fat could be so much easier if you just avoid these 5 frustrating mistakes. Most busy guys are training hard, eating clean, and pushing through cardio, and yet they're still stuck at 20% body fat or higher, feeling discouraged. And after 8 years of coaching busy men to get six-pack lean, I keep seeing men make the same painful mistakes over and over without realizing they're doing it. And they're frustrated because they feel like they're doing everything right. So if you've ever felt stuck despite putting in the effort, chances are one or more of these 5 mistakes is why. So let me show you what they are and exactly how you can fix them. So most guys think they burn way more calories than they actually do. They hit the gym and push through a tough workout thinking they've earned this big opportunity to eat a big meal. But here's the problem. Your fitness tracker, whether it's an Apple Watch or Fitbit or an Oura Ring, the calorie burn on these devices is not the same as food. And a gym workout only accounts for like 5 to 10% of your total daily energy burn on a day that you actually do a workout. This is where most guys get stuck. Because if you see 400 calories burned on your fitness device or your Apple Health, and then you go and eat 400 extra calories, you'll probably wake up the next morning even heavier, confused as to why you gained weight because it should be even. The problem is that fitness trackers aren't 100% the same as food calories, but that's okay. I'll explain why. The truth is, food calories are measured in a laboratory based on the heat that they produce when they're burned. Food calories are not measured in a Fitbit or an Apple Watch. And so the problem here is that a lot of guys, because of this, are far underestimating what they're actually eating. They forget about oils, sauces, a bite of this or a snack of that, and hundreds of potential extra calories that can easily go overlooked in 1 week. So this is why it's best to separately track your nutrition from your total daily calorie burn. Treat them as 2 separate things. It's guys who try to blend them together that always get stuck because the calorie burn is clashing with the food you're eating and they're not the same, and it becomes all a bit convoluted and confusing. So if we keep them separate, that will simplify things. And here's a little challenge for you. I want you to track your food for a whole week. Long enough to find all those little hidden calories, all the discrepancies when you thought you had this much, but you actually had more, or maybe MyFitnessPal has an incorrect entry saying it's only 100 calories when it's really 150. Maybe there's some oil or butters or nuts, little things that you didn't pick up on. Track everything that you see, and then you'll get the accurate number of the food calories that you actually ate. 9 times out of 10, it's always more than what men think it is. You don't have to track forever, only long enough to learn the skill of nutrition and portion sizing and calories, so then you know exactly how much you're eating. Because the guys who get and stay lean, they aren't just eating healthy food. It's not always about healthy food. They know exactly where they're spending their calories like they would know on a credit card. However, even with perfect tracking, this next mistake could kill your progress if you don't deal with it. So a lot of men think that training harder means getting leaner. So they're doing more cardio, more HIIT workouts, hitting the gym 5 or 6 days a week, buying a Peloton or a treadmill. Yet they still get stuck at 20% body fat or higher with a skinny fat looking body. And this is because they're not really building muscle and they're overlooking mistake number 1 we just talked about. So the fact is, cardio burns calories whilst you're doing it. The second you stop, your calories default back to baseline, meaning you're going to be burning less. On the other hand, with muscle, the more muscle you increase, the more your BMR will elevate 24/7. By a little bit, not by a lot, but I'll take every increase I can get the more I age over 30. Not only that, muscle gives us the shape, the wider shoulders, the thicker chest, the arm definition, the outline of our abs. That's muscle. So if we want to have a nice, healthy, athletic, fit looking body, we need to build more muscle, and that's going to enhance our metabolism, the baseline being our BMR. Another mistake is lifting weights for super high reps, thinking that just because you're getting a pump, you're going to be building muscle. That's not true. Like doing 30 reps or more probably means the weight is far too light and you may as well join an aerobics class. And that's because breaking a sweat and a pump might feel good, but it's not always putting enough tension on the muscle to actually make it grow by causing little micro tears to the muscle cells. When it repairs, muscle cells get bigger. Everyone kind of already knows this, yet they don't practice it. So the key is stop relying solely on cardio. I'm not saying never do cardio, but don't rely on it. And instead train at least twice, preferably 3 days a week, doing a strength and muscle focused workout. Even from home with a set of dumbbells is fine. And the most important part is using progressive overload. So every single session, you're not wasting time, you're actually stimulating your muscles with strength, and muscle size and growth will catch up over time. Without progressive overload, you're just going to be moving weight around based on what you can already do, and the body has no reason to get stronger and to get bigger. And that is exactly what my business body blueprint routine is designed for. More info on that in the description. But even with the perfect training routine, this next mistake will keep you stuck above 20% body fat if you don't overcome it. Obviously, one meal will not make you fat, and it also won't make you ripped. But many guys might eat a burger, some fries, calamari, squid, and a beer, and think, I've screwed it up, I may as well keep going and just start fresh on Monday. The problem isn't the meal. It's that they didn't factor this meal into their budget, and they don't have a plan B to actually live their life and enjoy foods like this, and they treat it as a failure and a mistake when it's not. And that's why once men say screw it, it turns into a weekend bender binge, and then it's all out the window, and they see the scale bounce up 2 to 4 pounds overnight, and they feel really bad about it, which could add thousands of extra calories to the entire week, blowing out all the progress that you may have made from Monday to Friday or Saturday. But the guys who stay lean, they don't let one meal turn into 2 or 3 days of ongoing damage. They still enjoy dinners with the family, maybe a wine or a beer with the missus or some mates, but then they get right back on track. It's all part of the plan. So as a mindset cue, instead of aiming for 100% perfection every single day in your diet, consider the 90-10 rule. 90% clean, 10% whatever you want. I won't judge you, as long as it fits your budget. Because as I said, one meal won't blow your entire fat loss journey, but if you're having to restart every single Monday, that's going to get in the way, and eventually it will break you down and you will lose motivation to keep doing that. But once you fix this, you will stop this cycle of how guys make progress and then think that they're all good and then they blow it. You'll hop off that yo-yo while still enjoying the food that you like to eat. And once you master this, there is another mistake that causes many guys to give up way too soon. So most guys will step on the scale every couple of days or maybe once a week, and if it's not going down, they freak out. They think, I'm doing everything right, I ate a salad, I ate this, I didn't have a beer, I didn't have chips. Why isn't the scale going down? Then they either go more strict on their diet, suffering even more, or they go more strict on cardio, suffering even more there. Or they do a combination of both. And in the worst case, some guys completely give up because they just can't handle not seeing progress every single day. The problem is the scale doesn't give the full picture. It's kind of like only looking at your expense account but not looking at where your profits are. Because losing body fat isn't linear. It doesn't happen in a straight line. And our weight can fluctuate day to day, anywhere from 1 to 5 pounds if you checked it every single hour, which can be from water retention, digestion, food volume in the body, so some meals are heavier than others, drinking more water, drinking less water, shifts in energy within the muscle cells, high sodium or low sodium, going to the bathroom, not going to the bathroom, inflammation in the body from an illness, from stress, from not sleeping well. There's all these factors that can fluctuate that number on the scale. So if you're hoping that every weigh-in that you do randomly is going to show you results, you're setting yourself up for suffering and losing motivation and likely completely missing what's really happening under the hood. So don't get caught up in the day-to-day. Instead, look at the weekly average and compare weekly average to weekly average to weekly average. What is that trend doing? And then go beyond the scale. Look at your photos. Every 2, 3, 4 weeks at least, you should be comparing photos. Focusing on your strength gains. Are you doing more reps, more sets, more weight? Is it feeling easier? How are your clothes fitting? Other people noticing your face getting leaner, belly coming in, you're just looking healthier, more vibrant, more energetic. And ask your missus or friends, colleagues, kids for objective feedback. Ask them, how do you look? What are their thoughts? And if they're honest, they'll tell you. Because the guys who get and stay lean, they don't obsess over one data point. They track their progress and they adjust it based on the trends of everything coming together, not just one day. So when you've got your tracking dialed in and you're seeing all your averages, you're making progress week after week, this is when I still see guys fall into this trap and make a big mistake. This is the one that blocks them from getting below 20% to that 15% goal where most guys would love to be and maintain. So real quick, I've met a lot of guys who have in the past gone full throttle for like 3 to 4 weeks, but then when they're not seeing their abs by week 5, they quickly put the handbrake on and skid back to a complete stop. But here's the reality. When you start to look at losing belly fat and building muscle as an investment, this starting and stopping yo-yo effect will eventually fade away, because you only have to lose 1 or 2 pounds a week, which is half a kilo to a kilo of body fat per week, to get lean. That's approximately 4 to 8 pounds per month of fat. I'm strictly talking about fat, not scale weight. And over the months, this can add up really fast, because as you know, time is going to pass anyway. So if you started 3-6 months ago, imagine where you would be today. However, if you quit because it's not working after a couple of weeks, you will stay stuck in this cycle of starting, stopping, wishing it was easier, wishing there was some magic pill or some special magic program that someone's going to give you that's going to do all the work for you, which is never the case. You have to do what's required to get rid of the belly fat, to get lean, to build the muscle, and stay there. But once you get there, it is so much easier to maintain. It's like a plane taking off, which is putting out a lot of thrust, and then once it reaches altitude, staying at that altitude, they're burning a lot less fuel. And the same goes once you get your body into shape. Once you get there, it requires far less push to stay there. So the guys who get six-pack lean after 30, 40, 50 and beyond, and most importantly, maintain it, they set realistic timeframes based on their body fat percentage goal. They focus on long-term consistency, not instant results every day and every single week. They trust the process and don't panic over very short-term fluctuations, or when life gets in the way, or someone gets sick, or there's a business trip, or the kids have a cold or a flu, or whatever it is. Stuff happens. They just keep going. Truth is, you can think you're doing everything perfectly right, and you probably will for periods of time. But if you expect to see results faster than what they can physically come about, eventually that will just crush your motivation, and it's harder to continue because the expectations were unrealistic to begin with. This is exactly why I've designed my business body blueprint for busy guys who want to lose fat without second guessing everything they're doing, and without wasting time on the wrong workouts or diets that make them crave and think about food all day. And by implementing this routine, you can start shedding more fat even as fast as this week. So go check it out now. The link is in the description below this video, and I'll walk you through step by step how it works, what's included, and you'll see some of the results there of the guys who have done the exact steps inside of the routine. Then go watch this video that will show you step by step how to reverse metabolic decline after 30 that affects everyone that I know. Go watch it now, and I'll walk you through how to do that.